Get out.
Who is the man in this one?
And the laughter.
Hii wigi umevakishwa zile wakati tulikuwa tunaapishwa tunapewa mheshimiwa.
Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
We are the full package.
Oh yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. My name is Njue. Byron Abuli will be helping us in the sign language interpretation. Time to have a look at the headlines shaping up the news conversation in the country at this hour. We will be keeping a keen eye on the aftermath of the protests countrywide. We have the Rongai situation where my colleague Giverson Maina is at. We also have Azimio leaders who are currently at the Kenyatta National Hospital checking out the medical condition of some of the people injured during the protest. But for now, we'll begin our live coverage from State House Road, where my colleague Yusuf Farah Yusuf is currently on standby, just having a feel of how things are in that. Right, I'm informed that he's not quite ready, but as soon as we get that live feed, we'll be getting to Yusuf Farah. But in other news, a section of youth leaders in Nairobi have welcomed President William Ruto's move to withdraw the Finance Bill 2024 in its entirety. Led by one of their own, Newton Hamisi, they, however, cautioned their fellow youths to exercise restraint and give dialogue a chance. This even as they called for speedy investigations into police excesses during the demonstrations. They have also implored the government to facilitate compensation for the families that lost their loved ones.
I want to request the young people of this country to give dialogue a chance. We have seen the president has thrown out the bill and formally returned to the National Assembly. So I want to request the young people just to give dialogue a chance. Another thing, I will also request the president also to look into compensation to people whose businesses were lost.
As young people, we don't want this conversation only to happen at the national level. We have devolved units, and therefore we are calling on all county governments to also be steadfast to incorporate young people in this conversation of leadership.
And now to one of our top stories where my colleague Farah Yusuf Farah is actually on Nyerere Road, where traffic leading up to State House has been closed. Authorities standing guard to prevent traffic from accessing that route. That area is completely having security agencies. But for more, let's have our own Farah. If you can hear me, Farah, kindly bring us up to speed with what is happening. That has been diverted, as you remember that the military and even the police have been keeping vigil surrounding the State House since the day before yesterday, and roads leading up to State House have been closed. As you can see, police are diverting traffic that would be otherwise using that route. But traffic coming into town from that route is, however, allowed. Those are just some of the pictures that we have been able to gather in the last couple of minutes ago. But as you can see, police in their riot gear, keeping security tight in the road leading to that. All right, we'll be bringing you a more detailed report in our subsequent bulletin regarding that. But let's cross over to Rongai, where yesterday we have had a chaos, and also we had a number of people shot and others injured and property looted. Let's first of all get our own Giverson Miner to give us more on that. Giverson, good afternoon.
And now we are coming live to you from Rongai in Kajiado North constituency in Kajiado County to look at after the aftermath of the anti-finance bill protest that happened yesterday. Of course, there are a lot of reports that even the peaceful protests in this particular area, they were infiltrated by what people are calling goons or hired people, actually from outside this place, who came and infiltrated the peaceful protest and caused chaos, forcing police to use excessive force and even causing deaths of at least 2 people that we can be able to confirm. Right now, I've just come from Rongai Sub-County Hospital, actually the morgue section, and I met the family of one of the child that you've been able to see a picture or rather a video circulating online with a baby boy who's, with about 8 bullets on the back on the right shoulder, and actually confirmed that. And according to his to the mother of the child, one Jacinta Anyango, she says that at about 5 p.m. in the evening, there were peaceful protests, and so the child went outside, or rather to the neighbor, to collect a textbook for reading purposes. And then after that, there were a number of gunshots, numerous gunshots by police, to scatter away the protesters and even the goons or hired people, as they saw, who were causing chaos and even looting property from supermarkets and from kiosks and businesses of the people belonging to Rongai. And after that, she was shown a picture of a baby boy with about 8 gunshots that you've been able to see online, and that she was not able to recognize that person because the face was not very clear. But after that, her sister came and told the mom that she saw the face of the baby who was shot in the back, and they were able to confirm that it was their baby, one Kennedy. And we've confirmed at the morgue that it was her own baby. Then after that, of course, we've been able to be told that a second person who's been confirmed dead, still the name unknown, the body was taken to City Mortuary in Nairobi County. And so that is what happened. But so far, we've been trying to look for the OCPD in charge of this particular area to confirm those figures and even tell us whether the total number of people who are still nursing gunshots in various hospitals have been told. Others are still, being treated at the Rongai Sub-County. Others taken to some even private hospitals, and even those with complications have been taken to KNH. And of course, we're still following up that up. But of course, the normalcy has returned to this particular region, to this particular town. The businesses have been opened. People are going on with their daily activities. The traffic is quite normal, even with traffic jams, just to displaying that the town is back to normalcy and businesses is still ongoing even after that. But according to human rights activists that we've been able to talk to, they decry that they may be forced actually to come back to the street for peaceful protests, just to convey a message to police that, look here, you police, you used excessive force and even killed one of their children, 12 years old. A baby boy who was about, according to the mother, he says that he was just a grade 8 pupil at a nearby school. And so that is what is happening here. Things back to normal, as of course is various activities happening. I can show you just a short, people walking around, businesses open. This is just a car wash, mama mbogas all over, the welders are still going on, carpenters. Everything is back to normal. And so I want to take you back to studio as we continue to look for these other stories, continue to look for the OCPD and confirm the shootings, confirm the number of fatalities and the number of those patients still nursing gun wounds. Back to you in studio.
Thank you. Give us on Minor live from Ongata Rongai, where normalcy seems to have resumed after yesterday's chaotic scenes that led to a number of people getting shot and even the death of a 12-year-old child. We are keeping tabs also at the Kenyatta National Hospital, where some of the patients have been referred. Remember, Azimio leaders there will be getting more in regards to that in our later subsequent bulletin. Elsewhere, 12 people have been arrested in Kitengela town of Kajiado County in a crackdown on landlords whose apartments are discharging raw sewage in open areas. 8 pumping machines found discharging waste to the road were also confiscated, and tenants in 4 apartments were issued with a 14-day vacate order. In the last few months, there has been public outrage in Kitengela over the brazen population.
Fanya kazi pamoja na wale tuko na informers wetu. Tungependa kushukuru wale wananchi ambayo wanajitokeza kusema yale manyumba ambaye ziko na shida mingi. Tungependa kusema ya kwamba hakuna mtu ambaye atarudisha hizi pumps tukichukua kwa hizi nyumba, na ule ambaye chief officer wetu amesema ya kwamba ule mtu yeyote ambaye atarudisha hizi pump kwa hizi nyumba au kupiga majitaka, tutahakikisha ya kwamba sheria pia itamfuata mpaka mahali inapo.
Elsewhere, more than 6 million children in 27 counties are at a risk of intestinal parasitic worms, including soil-transmitted helminths and schistosomiasis or bilharzia. In a bid to scale down the numbers, the Ministry of Health, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, kicked off an annual school-based deworming program in 2021, treating about 6 million children aged 2 and 14 years and reducing school abstinence by 25%. Speaking during a media engagement on Friday morning, Principal Secretary for Public Health and Professional Standards, Mary Muthoni, called on the members of the public to observe hygiene and sanitation as a preventive measure.
The prevalence of soil-transmitted helminth, that is STH infections, and since the baseline measurements, we have achieved a reduction of over 80% in combined soil-transmitted helminth prevalence, dropping from 32.3% at baseline to just 5.8% in 2022. So really, we are doing something, but we need to eradicate. And the eradication will come through either the medication or preaching the same, that prevention and promotion is the way to go. Washing of hands, having toilets, ensuring that the environment is clean.
In other news, a new era has dawned on residents of Kadhangachini in Tharaka, Meru County with the launch of the Kadhangachini Power Supply Works, the 218 million shilling project being undertaken by the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, REREC, spans across Mara, Chuka and Tharaka constituencies. It aims to benefit the community through the connection of over 18 projects, including schools, hospitals, churches and other government offices. Speaking at the launch, Area Member of Parliament Getonga Murugara said the project would double electricity coverage in the area to 60%.
Tharaka Nithi County, where we have been and we have started the projects here, where we are doing 27 rural electrification projects in the 3 constituencies. Na tuko na budget ya 218 million na tuta connect 1,278 customers.
The Ministry of Mining will begin a public participation exercise beginning July for the use of mine sites that are nearing closure in Kwale County. Speaking in Sambweni constituency while introducing to the community the committee appointed to undertake the exercise, the Secretary for Mining, Elijah Mwangi, said the public participation exercise will assist the ministry in knowing how best to utilize the land.
Kwa mfano kuna watu ambao wamesema wao hawakuhusishwa. Kwa nini hii committee sisi hatujahusishwa? Nataka niseme ya kwamba ukiangalia Mining Act ambao ndio sheria ambao inatuongoza kwa hii shughuli, section 149 inasema after the mining company declares exhaustion of their resources, wakiona ya kwamba wamemaliza ile madini ambao walikuwa na mine, wanamwandikia barua waziri wa mining. Wakishaandikia waziri wa mining barua, na yeye anakuja kuangalia mambo kadhaa. Jambo la kwanza ni assets, na kama kuna assets ambazo ziko pale, some of the assets will go to the county manage on behalf of the people. Zingine zitaenda the national government to manage on behalf of the people.
Moving on, 3 people have died while another is nursing serious injuries after the granite they were unloading from a trailer fell on them. The men, part of an 8-man crew unloading the granite at its delivery point in Ruiru, Kiambu County, met their fate after they were unable to lift the heavy material. Authorities are now calling on business owners to prioritize the safety of workers engaging in risky work.
Kila wakati fikiria maisha yako kwanza. Ufikiria maisha yako kwanza, uko namna gani. Mwenye mzigo pia utumie mzigo mkubwa kama hii, tumia forklift. Tuache kutumia binadamu kwa kitu ambayo inatayarisha maisha yao.
Hata kutoa sauti tu, ana wenyewe kutoa nduru juu ile walifunikiwa hivyo, akazima hivyo. Sasa tukang'ana hali yetu, tukashindwa tutarainua hizo mawe. Sasa bado mbaya walikuwa wamefunikiwa already 3, walikuwa 4, mmoja kasururika kaenda OC. Sasa hao ndio bado tunang'ana vile tunatoa.
Ile road trailer unaona ilikuwa na deliver mzigo hapo wa granite. Alafu watu wakati walikuwa na watoa wakazidiwa na yule mzigo. Alafu sasa ikawaralia.
Elsewhere, a section of women in Mwingi, Kitui County, held a peaceful protest over the increased cases of donkey theft in the area, calling upon the county and national government to intervene. The women who rely on the donkeys for their livelihood decried what they termed as thriving donkey meat business, despite the donkey slaughterhouse at Kithioko Market having been closed.
Sisi ni watetezi wa punda ama wamama wale tunafanya kazi na punda. Tulikuwa kwa barabara siku hii ya leo tukikataa biashara ya punda pali popote. Hatutaki biashara ya punda iendelee.
Punda amekuwa kigezo cha maisha ya wanadamu, na pia tumeweza kufadhaika sana, hata kwa vikundi vya wamama pia wameweza kufadhaika mno wakati wameweza kusikia kana kwamba punda amekuwa nyama, amekuwa kitoweo akichinjwa orera. Tunamuuliza hata Gavana Malombe na wa President Ruto wakomeshe hii biashara ya punda.
A shift gears to health matters, where over 25 million Kenyans are suffering from one form of neglected tropical diseases, NTDs. Health experts are warning that failure to eliminate 17 of these diseases, including jiggers, bilharzia, and intestinal worms, the health and economic well-being of the population will suffer devastating effects. Mariambo reports.
Neglected tropical diseases, NTDs, is a group of infectious diseases such as lymphatic filariasis, that is elephantiasis, bilharzia, trachoma, jiggers, and river blindness. Kenya has confirmed 17 out of the 21 NTDs recognized by the World Health Organization. Community engagement has seen Kenya eliminate guinea worm disease.
And so if you look at guinea worm, the community, all communities where it's endemic, were involved in the fight. The health facility workers, the community leadership, the health leadership at the national level, together with the global leadership, they all combined to ensure that we eventually eliminated the disease.
Addressing journalists, health experts warn that the diseases disproportionately affect impoverished communities, besides causing long-term disability, social stigma, and economic hardship.
If somebody is disabled, for instance, then they are not able to go to work, hence no living is earned. So a lot of economic burdens on our people. There's a lot of stigma that comes with these conditions.
There are some entities that actually are even misdiagnosed as sexually transmitted infections and cause stigma to women and men in general.
Recent data from the Ministry of Health reveals that 25 million Kenyans remain at risk of NTDs due to factors like inadequate access to clean water and poor sanitation.
So many people would they would not use the proper toilets, disposal of waste, and when it rains or maybe during climate change when there's flooding, there's feces that have been put out in the open will drain into the surface water, that is the rivers, maybe the unprotected wells or springs, and when people come and consume that water, then they bring about the issues of bilharzia and the worms, and that again now affects our children in school.
Kenya is now in the race to eliminate 4 NTDs by 2030, with calls for more media partnerships to create awareness and behavioral change.
If interventions are targeted towards these diseases, they can be prevented, they can be controlled, and they can be eliminated.
Such forums are important to bring to the fore issues that are happening there pertaining to people in the various counties that need to be highlighted so that policy action is done.
Maria Ambo reporting for KBC Channel 1.
Very well, and that report by Marie Yambo takes us to our first break. But when we come back, I will be running through a couple of more stories, and then we'll be looking at the latest in the world of sports, the Euro and also the Copa America. Keep it Channel 1.
The Mozart-Bait Grand Finale is finally here. Kenya Police will take on KCB this Saturday, the 29th from 2 p.m. for a chance to represent Kenya in the CAF Confederation Cup. The game will be preceded by third-place playoff between AFC Leopards and Kariobangi Sharks at 11 a.m. Both matches will be played at the Ulinzi Sports Complex and televised live on KBC Channel 1. KBC Channel 1. Your true sports partner.
What are those? What do you mean, what are those? I've taught this many times, I have lost count. Hey, Mr. Teacher, maybe you taught that on another class. Nonsense inside that trouser. You think you can put us around as you please?
Ne, Atito Jakuru. We copy exams together always. No, you think you can teach us what exactly?
You know, you're so full of yourself, you know that? Huh? This hard head of yours is going to be your downfall.
And now you are talking.
Yes, I'm talking, and it's regression, not regression.
Welcome back, and many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. Moving on, in a remarkable display of commitment to environmental stewardship, the Alpha generation in 4 primary schools in Kitui County is spearheading tree-growing initiatives aimed at turning around the fortunes of residents of the arid landscape. As Judith Okolo reports, the young leaders do this well aware of the region's increasing potential to produce precious wood amid the promise to trade in carbon stocks once the required amounts are achieved. Take a look.
Italian proverb, catch them young, see them grow, is holding ground in Kitui County. Little children, the alpha generation, in 4 schools, including Makosi School, Mutomo School, Vo School, and Vote School, have made tree growing their mission. The children, organized into clubs, are on track to influencing their communities to grow trees.
In schools, we have the pupils, we have the teachers, and we have the parents. So if all these people are capacity built on the importance of growing trees, then we expect the same to spread very fast and to be practiced both at school and at home. And as they grow with that culture of planting trees and conserving our environment.
Their hunger, born out of an urgent need to mitigate the negative impacts of climate change in the vulnerable areas through planting of local varieties of trees, such as the improved Melia bokensai or mukau and baobab.
So we are targeting to conserve the drylands, of course, which are so degraded, and also we are targeting commercial benefits so that the people living in drylands can also get a shilling in the pocket.
It was a mirage to even think of eating leaves from the baobab tree. But in these schools that are in one of the harshest arid and semi-arid lands in Kitui County have embraced the baobab. The tree has various benefits. Key among them is the leaves that are a source of vegetables.
Parents were called. They were shown how to prepare the vegetable. They ate and they said, no, they are good. We allow you to feed our children on the baobab leaves. And we started eating the leaves.
It has a large capacity to store carbon, and its deep roots help in maintaining the groundwater cycle, while at the same time absorb carbon.
Timber from Melia, and as well as we get timber, we also want to get more benefits like carbon, which is now trading, so that then as we wait to harvest timber, we can also get some more income from carbon.
There is a feasibility study being undertaken by Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, in conjunction with the Kenya Forest Research Institute on the viability of the carbon stocks absorbed by the growing plantation of both mukau and baobab trees in the 4 schools.
We are going to plant trees and to be get matured and to be make it a forest and say it as a reforestation project. And so we can write up the project design document and including methodologies, and it will be needed to be certified any certification bodies like Beta VCS or the gold standard or so Plan Vivo, etc.
The ASALs cover approximately 80% of the land area. There are also areas known to be low potential. However, JICA and KEFRI initiated a program to improve and to plant indigenous tree species that are highly tolerant to limited hydrological conditions. The trees are then intercropped with legumes like cowpeas and beans to supplement the school meals. As the program continues to grow, so are the hopes of the children and their parents that with time, the area will turn fruitful in numerous ways. Judith Akolo, The Lunchtime News.
Quite commendable. And away from environmental conservation, over 300 residents of Meru County and its surroundings have benefited from a free medical camp organized by the Kenya Methodist University, KEMU, in collaboration with the Meru County government and other stakeholders. The 3-day event held at KEMU's main campus aims to support vulnerable individuals who cannot afford healthcare services. Dr. Elias Some, KEMU's Deputy Vice Chancellor, highlighted that the annual event offers a range of health services, including monitoring blood pressure. Meru County Chief Officer of Health, Joseph Wahome, expressed continued support for the initiative to ensure accessible healthcare for all.
Hayo kuanzia leo na kesho kutwa tutakuwa na free medical camp. Lengo letu ni kuwapa nafasi wale ambao kwa sababu ya kifedha hawangeenda hospitali. Kwa siku 3 watapata nafasi kuja hapa kupimwa, kupata matibabu na zaidi waelezwe jinsi ya kujiweka katika hali ya afya nzuri.
Hapa leo tuko pamoja na Kenya Methodist University tukiwashiriana pamoja kwa matibabu ya watu wetu ambao imesemwa saa hii ni huduma ambayo ina maripo.
In business, 2 biggest palm oil producers in Nigeria, Presco PLC, that's public listed company, and Okomu Oil have recorded a 95% surge in their profits for the first time in 10 years. In the company's latest financial statements, combined after-tax profit grew to 39.2 billion naira in the first 3 months of 2024 from 20.1 billion naira in the same period last year. Here are the details of this and other story making headlines from across Africa.
Presco's sales on meal byproducts stood at 5.1 million in the first quarter of 2024, while Okomu Oil's revenue also increased by 79.8% to 43.5 billion from 24.2 billion in the corresponding quarter of 2023. Market conditions appear favorable for Presco in 2024, with the potential for increased domestic crude palm oil prices and stronger refined, bleached and deodorized production in the first quarter. However, experts say the devaluation of the naira may have limited direct effects on Nigerian palm oil producers since they may not heavily rely on foreign exchange. Meanwhile, Malawi's 5 water boards seem to be succeeding in their push for an increase in the price of water, with Ministry of Water and Sanitation hinting that any new tariff will exclude low-income earners. The Consumers Association of Malawi has since welcomed the move to spare low-income earners, but said the water boards need to improve on efficiency and recovering arrears, especially from government ministries, departments and agencies. Further, the ministries would consider the request by looking at production costs and the ability of the customer to pay. Finally, Ghana Central Bank has announced the suspension of its planned capital-raising initiative. This decision, announced at the 30th Annual General Meeting, comes on the heels of the bank's strong financial results for the year 2023 and a positive outlook for 2024. The bank's capital adequacy ratio, a key indicator of financial health, has shown substantial improvement. As of March 2024, it stood at 19.1%, up from 17.9% at the end of December 2023. This improvement, coupled with the bank's strong financial performance, has given the board confidence in its ability to pursue strategic initiatives without immediate additional capital. Lorraine Chepchirchir for Lunchtime News.
Now, 29-year-old university graduate Joseph Njue has ventured into smart farming using the technology of multi-storied vertical bags, garden and hydroponic system. It's an endeavor that has seen him not only create a source of income for himself, but for other young people. Lorraine Jepchirchir visited him at his farm along Thika Superhighway and filed the following reports for the young and industrious.
Alongside Thika Road stands the budding JK Smart Farming Services. Here, we meet Joseph Njue, a graduate from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. He leads me into the smart farm. Inside, one can think it is a normal kitchen garden. Rather, it is a modern smart farm with propagated seedlings in vertical bags, multi-story gardens and hydroponic system with variety of vegetable seedlings and fruits like cucumber, fennel, and Japanese spinach. Apart from the vertical bags, he has also put up a greenhouse with over 200,000 hybrid seedlings propagated in black trays, each holding 200 seedlings. And here, a gear up to get a demonstration on how to water the seedlings. It is in this small vicinity that Joseph took the initiative to create a job for himself, even though it was not a walk in the park.
We started with the 2 greenhouses with 100 trays only, which was donated from one of my professors in JKUAT, or in a club we call Horticulture Student Association.
The main part of his work is propagating hybrid seedlings using cocoa peat medium. This, he says, is a unique way of achieving quality seedlings.
Kikura coconut kuna the outer husk. So hiyo outer husk inakuwa crush. Ikikuwa crush ina produce now the media, which inaitwa cocoa peat ama grow peat. We get the cocoa peat, ikona something inaitwa EC ama electric conductivity, which is very high. So we are going to take it, we treat it. Ikikuwa tayari tunaweka kwa tray, zinaitwa planting trays. We put a single seedling per cell.
He also propagates the seedlings in different parts of the country depending on the climate of an area.
Tunakuja tunaangalia shamba yako, kila mmea ama every plant do well in a specific area. Kuna cool crop na kuna warm season crop.
He adds that through his hard work, he has been able to employ 2 permanent workers and even interns from various institutions in the country, giving a chance of employment to the youth.
On a temporary basis, we have created over 3,000 jobs to different people. Like for example, recently we were in Kericho doing installation of irrigation system. We need 20 people. I cannot do installation alone.
Among them is Aoko Quinta, a second year at a chief from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology.
Tangu nikuje huku, I've experienced so many things, how to propagate different vegetables and spices, herbs, which has motivated me as an agricultural student.
Even though starting the JK Smart Farming Services was a challenge, Kinyo says he never gave up and now he is able to sell the seedlings countrywide.
Nikianza, nilisema like hapa hii place haikuwa na maji. So maji nilikuwa nachota na wheelbarrow for 6 months. Kama hakuna kitu tunauza hapa, hakuna market. Na hiyo maji nachota 1 kilometer to and from. Na mwagia huo wakati tulikuwa na greenhouses 2. So ninachota na mwagia. Wakati mwingine nikapanda hizo begu, nikakosa soko, nikakosa market, kupeleka soko, nikatolewa mbio na watu wenye wanauza huko. But hatuku give up kwa sababu tulikuwa tunajua mahali tunaelekea.
Securing a job in Kenya has proven to be a Herculean task, but for Joseph Kinyua, who dared to venture into smart farming, serves a lesson to the youth to make good use of their talents and time. For Young and Industrious, I'm Lorraine Chepchirchir.
And in sports, Switzerland will play defending champions Italy tomorrow in the opening match of the last 16 at the Euros in Germany, seeking to record a second ever win in the knockout stages of a major tournament. Switzerland have failed to win any of their last 7 previous last 16 matches at either the Euros or World Cup outright, progressing to the quarterfinals on just 1 occasion. The winner of the last 16 match will meet in the quarters either England or Slovakia, who play on Sunday.
Knockout stage of the 2024 Euros begin tomorrow. The round of 16 stage, which culminates on 2nd July, will see 8 countries. France will face rivals Belgium on Monday at the Dusseldorf Arena. Against France, Belgium has won 30 games and drawn 19 times, with France winning 26. The second game on Sunday will see England play Slovenia, having won just once in the group stage.
The U.S. Uruguay made it to the knockout stages of the Copa America after recording a stunning 5-0 victory over Bolivia in the second Group C match in the United States. Facundo Pelistri scored the opener for Uruguay in the 8th minute, and minutes later, Darwin Núñez doubled the score, assisted by Maximiliano Araujo, who scored the third goal in the second half of the match. Federico Valdeverde and Rodrigo Bentancur added the fourth and the fifth goals respectively. In the other Pool C match, Panama came from behind to beat host United States 2-1. Folarin Balogun scored the first goal of the match for USA, and that lasted only 4 minutes before Cesar Blackman equalized for Panama to level the score at the end of the first half. Jose Farajo gave Panama the win in the 83rd minute from an Abdiel Ayaza assist. Very well, that's where we put a cap on KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News this Friday afternoon. My name is Njue, and Byron Abuli has been my colleague who was handling the sign language interpretation on behalf of everyone who has made this broadcast a success. Of course, check out our more news in our social media spaces. But for now, it's bye-bye. Have yourself a blessed weekend ahead.